back at Flower Expo 2023. And Ryan, you got to get in the shot here.
Sorry.
So we are back at Flower Expo 2023. I'm here with our co-host for this podcast,
Destinee Blanco.
and we are pleased to be joined by Ryan and Megan. How are you guys doing?
Maggie.
Maggie.
It's okay.
Maggie.
It's Margaret, but that's too old.
Maggie
you know?
in the house.
Margaret.
You confused me. Got three names
Like
now.
Sister Mary Margaret, but it's Maggie.
Maggie.
Maggie is
Excellent.
short for Margaret.
And so this is one of our favorite things to do at these conferences is because there's all kinds of cool and interesting people wandering around. So our team just grabs people who are in the industry, wandering around, checking things out, doing things from a cool company like yours, and says, how's the Flower Expo for you? Who are you guys? What do you guys do in the industry? Tell us about your company.
Yeah, so we're Eagle Eyes Transport. We do third-party transportation on behalf of all of the cultivators and manufacturers in the state. So we pretty much just bring everything from that level to retail. So we also do warehousing, so we can store product on site for people who need extra vault space. We also do fulfillment where we can pretty much assemble orders and then distribute directly to the retailers.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time we go to all of our clients, pick up all their product, and then deliver it to the retail locations all across Massachusetts.
What sort of license is required to do that?
So we need a third-party transportation license.
Yes, transportation license. It's a little bit different. It lets us be very fluid within the industry. So like Ryan was going over, we can walk into a retail facility, we can walk into a lab, we can walk onto a cultivation property, and that allows us to be able to do multiple things in the industry versus other licenses that kind of limit the retail world or limit the production and the cultivation world. So we're very lucky with our license.
And really, we're pretty much designed to alleviate the headache of handling all of your own logistics, scheduling to when these transfers are going to take place. It's really just a service meant to provide and give back to everyone in the industry, obviously make things more efficient and handle the stress of logistics, scheduling, and the whole delivery process on behalf of everybody in Massachusetts. And
But non-consumer touching.
not consumer, no. That was
patient touching. You guys are all just manufacturer, cultivator.
just business to business delivery system.
Yep, no home delivery with what we do here at Eagle Eyes.
Are people required to use a licensed transporter?
So yeah, I mean, so you have to either, if you have your cultivation or manufacturing license, you can also get a transportation license and handle business yourself.
So if somebody wants to, they can do it themselves, but they have to get their own license.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we try to teach people on the market structure, how things work out here.
Yes,
And-
absolutely.
And like what we kind of what to do is it's very expensive to do your own in-house transportation. Obviously, you got to worry about paying your employees and worrying about
Right.
call out, sick time, and all that. We pretty much take care of all that for you. So you never have to worry about any secondary planning or plan B. You can always rely on us to ensure that your products can be delivered.
Especially speaking to small, like a micro grower or micro business or someone that's just getting into the cannabis industry that doesn't have maybe a large financial backing. It's a lot of money, like Ryan said, to coordinate that. There's also insurance, the vehicles that you have to purchase and how you have to build out those vehicles in order to be compliant. Costs a lot of money to monitor those systems. So it's really great for folks that maybe are just kind of getting their feet wet in the industry as well. It's a great way to play with maybe the larger folks that are in the industry and get in that way, and we'll go anywhere. We're border to border. From the top tip of Massachusetts all the way to almost the New York border, we'll go anywhere. So
How many third-party transportation companies are there that are just solely doing this?
So including us, you're looking at 4.
Right?
So we're not gonna talk on them, but
I don't even know.
we
if
were
they
the
don't even
first.
exist.
We were the first transportation company to actually integrate
The only.
we were the first ones though to have a warehouse facility where we could store and actually have that be a vaulted facility, right? So, and also with our company, we have our own software system or program where you can live track your product when we're shipping it.
Nice. That's
So that
convenient.
was very convenient for all of our retail folks, and we were the first in the industry. That's an in-house product that was created around the industry specifically to transport cannabis. So it's really great. Lifetime tracking integrated with the metric system that we all have to use. So it's fantastic.
And then how much product is this that you guys are able to store for a property?
As
we
much as
have
they want.
almost.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the number to give our competitors
Right,
an
though,
idea.
right?
But,
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh man,
we
as
got
much as we
got
can
a lot
hold.
of warehouse space. We work with a lot of people in
Plenty more.
Massachusetts to distribute and fulfill their product from
Yeah.
our facility. A lot of beverage companies, a lot of vape companies, flower companies, pretty much.
So beverage, you guys have like fridge area.
We do rack storage. So think of we're like the Anheuser-Busch for cannabis beverages in Massachusetts, right? So
Okay.
we're the Horizon, we're the L Knife, we're the distributors. So the production facilities make it. We show up, we pick up all those pallets, bring it back for storage. The sales reps can go out and not have to worry. They put those orders in, and all of a sudden, boom, they're getting ready to be shipped.
So people can store all their product with you at
Yes.
any time.
Yep, we do have temperature control storage. We can hold beverages cold, so small beverage storage. We can take stuff that's in raw form, so any sort of distillate or anything that you're getting ready to produce or test. So we have temperature control vaults that are all differently set for what our folks need. Whatever our clients asking for, we can make that happen. So
Was it one main distribution center you guys have?
Yep.
What
and
city
then
is that in?
it's in Plymouth.
Plymouth.
So
Okay.
birthplace of America. And then, so that's where most of our fleet operates out of. We also have satellite locations to accommodate pretty much everybody in the state. So we have a Western Mass team. Then we also have a Central Mass team co-located to help deal with all the labs that are located in various areas, and just really maximize efficiencies, especially for Western Mass, license holders, and bring their product back to us. It's all pre-planned around efficiencies and just making sure that we can support everybody equally.
So you guys don't get involved in the actual financial transaction in any way between the manufacturers and the retailers, the cultivators and the
We
retailers?
can.
yep, we
we
definitely can.
You have the license. You can, but you don't.
No, so it's not
I would.
license required to
'Cause
be
I'm
able.
greedy.
Ah,
I would 1% that whole thing. I would get the license.
Here's the thing. It's
Nope.
it's very hard to get people to pay invoices.
yep.
So
Can
we
we get
we
that?
can offer it up to amount a certain period of time. Then otherwise, if people aren't paying, it's all right. It falls back on you anyway. So we only really offer it to people that are really truly in need of it.
Yeah.
Because it obviously does come with additional costs and everything. And our goal is really just keep costs as low as possible.
Of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we do what we can as much as we're able to support each individual client and each individual
Absolutely.
situation.
So I heard yesterday around the delivery services to consumer that you have to have 2 people in the car,
Yeah. Yep.
which is just insane.
Absolutely. So that's where that cost comes from that I was speaking on earlier, where some of these smaller folks couldn't really take on that cost, right?
Do you have to have 2 people in the car for your thing?
We do.
Absolutely.
And for us, it's more necessary for us though. We're moving
Yep.
bulk product. We're moving a lot of different stuff at a given time. So when we're going directly to consumer, obviously, for a lot of people, it's up to an ounce limit.
Right.
So there's really not much product to be handled. We're
Right.
dealing with cases on cases on cases of product. We're dealing with pallets of beverage.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it does require the use of TP. I can understand the reason for why one person, I think, especially on the B2C side, absolutely. For us, it'd be great. I think there are instances where that is useful, but at the end of the day, there are a lot of times where 2 people is necessary because we want to move as quickly as possible. And obviously, product can be very heavy, especially when it comes in case sizes. You're dealing with the total product weight as opposed to just gram jars or eighths, anything like that.
I have that
So-
Rod Stewart song. in my
Wake
head.
up, Maggie. I think
Sorry, I'm
if
not.
I had
I'm
a
listening, I'm
dollar for
listening.
every
No,
time
you're
I
good.
heard
No,
that.
I'm 100% on point here,
Yeah.
and I want to get to that next logical question. Tell us some of the other stupid rules, and don't be afraid to be honest here. We're on Shackle. The
Well-
dumb rules that you're like,
Unshackle it.
why do we have to do this for transportation?
And
Types of cars, tinted windows.
the,
Tell us.
the first thing that comes to mind, and I love all of our employees. I love everybody who works for us. But one thing I guess that maybe is dumb, but very easy to accommodate is checking in every half hour.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to
Checking in
say.
everywhere. What?
So we
I
got
like that.
so we got to be in
Cool.
constant communication
Yep.
when we have thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of product on
Yeah,
board
of
to
course.
obviously make sure that we're still alive and well.
Yep.
Even though we got GPS tracking, you really can't and secure monitoring because we got cameras all around the vans. But it's nice to be in
have
constant
to check
communication with our HQ, our dispatch
Is it
team.
Like a
Um,
little
it's-
iPad you check into? or
Your
you
phone,
call?
we have an
We
app.
have an app.
Text.
Okay,
Okay.
so opposite. One of my goals, underlying goals, is to keep humanity out of the matrix. So let me explain something here. Let me go deeper into this.
Okay.
Checking in every half hour.
Yeah,
Is that by law or by executive rule?
CCC regulation.
regulations,
Okay,
baby.
so in the state laws, it didn't say anything about checking in.
So the
The laws itself,
Sure.
the statutory law
yeah,
from the legislature,
Sure.
the people's representatives, the senators making the law. They didn't say check in every half hour.
correct.
So some bureaucrat working in Massachusetts at the Cannabis Control, what are they called?
Cannabis Control Commission.
Okay,
Yeah.
with their wisdom and stuff, wrote into the rules, you have to check in.
Well, so I hear what you're saying, but I feel that originally when this became about, right? And I think there's just like every law, just like we have laws for the state of Massachusetts, the country, I think that laws should be a working document, right? And we should be able to alter and change these things. So I understand at the beginning, potentially when they came out with that, right? There was a reason, especially with cash transportation, right? So we're hearing these stories of these other markets happening in California that are happening in Colorado, where there's literally kind of like we're back to bank robbers here, where people are holding up, folks. I had friends of mine that worked in California that have literally been held up, had to be sit down on the ground, crisscross applesauce and wait, and just be held up by gunpoint. So I think originally some of these regulations, when they came out with these things, were to protect the industry folks, right? So
I remember what Mark Twain said about rumors and stories and all that stuff.
no, this is, but I think this was a real thing, right? So I think there was part of these things. I think were set up structurally for our protection at the beginning. Whether we can now fluidly say at this point, now that we've been in the industry, then we've had these regs out for a few years, is there possibility to come up with some better things that would benefit our retailers, ourselves, and the state in general? Absolutely. There's
You're
always
very diplomatic,
there's
Maggie.
always opportunities, right?
I'm not diplomatic anymore.
Nope. So what we do is we're trying to
might
do.
Be a regulator listening.
What we try to do is we try to be good industry partners, and what we try to do is offer solutions to these what we call opportunities that we find, right? So what we've done at Eagle Eyes is we've said to all the other transportation companies, hey guys, we're not going to be able to do this alone, right? So not like, there's enough cake for everybody to eat, right? So if we get together as a group and we say, hey, this isn't working for us, how about we get together, we present this to the powers to be, and we say, this is what we've come up with, let's talk, right? So that, I think, you get more bees with honey than you do.
Maggie, you are not a libertarian. I like you though.
But you know what I mean? So you gotta
uh-huh.
work with each other to make these things happen. I think it's time for us to sit down and have these conversations. I think it's long overdue.
So going back to just real quickly, check in.
Yeah.
Check in.
Yep.
When that regulation was created, maybe you guys were following and not following at that time. Did somebody say, okay, let's define check in? And then who defined it?
I'm not
and
sure.
Then what's in the definition?
I mean, I think you can interpret it many different ways.
Right. So what do they want?
As
what
long as
does
there's
check-in
communication
Yeah.
from the driver
I'm an Indian.
to the dispatcher. So we actually have an app.
Them eventually.
We have an app that we
Just
use.
saying.
Yeah. So we can
Um,
track people live. So I think that we've kind of
And it allows, as Maddie talked about, our portal. So we have an app that's integrated with our portal that you can see all of our check-ins.
Yeah.
So any one of our clients can see that
Right.
all their deliveries with us are compliant. We're checking in every 30 minutes.
because it's about the
You see-
compliance.
You see the status of the delivery change in real time.
I
You
mean,
see like
you
a
guys are
geotag.
amazing, by the way. I love you. I love you. I just don't give a fuck anymore. I'm
Sure.
sorry.
do
You
they
guys
have
are-
us by our balls?
you guys are
100%.
good people.
Right? Is that what you wanted me to say? Yes,
Yes.
they have us by our
No,
cojones, right?
But
Both of them.
But
Cojones.
it's not about that. I mean, we're just trying to explain, and people
Yeah,
need to
it's tough.
understand
It's tough.
the craziness situation. So you have
It's
a
tough.
law, a regulation, a word, a term, check in.
Yep.
What the
Lot of
hell
gray.
does that mean?
A lot of gray area.
And I just try to remind people why they should hate government, because government isn't necessary, Maggie.
I know,
Necessary.
it
evil,
is.
Dimitri.
It is.
Maggie
It
says
is.
necessary.
It is.
Dimitri says evil. But you get to that word, check in. Check in. It could mean 1,000 things.
It could.
Phone call, text,
Yeah.
email.
Like you said, smoke signals.
Smoke signals.
I would
In
say,
my
though-
culture, culturally appropriate check-in.
Yep.
Smoke signals.
I hear you.
And I
That's
get what you're
me,
asking.
right?
I think what we do is obviously it's through a system, so it can be logged,
Yes.
it can be referenced, it can be verified.
Right.
I don't know the check-in
We don't know
regulation
why.
all
Right.
that well,
We don't
or the
know
gray
why.
areas, but I don't know if a phone call suffices. But to
Right.
that point, what is a check-in?
So what's
Exactly.
your guys' check-in process? You
So-
said it's an app they log into.
We check in by mileage. We take the mileage of the vehicle,
Okay.
Ah.
and
Yep.
that's
live
our
mileage.
Yes.
And then
Right
it's
on
like
an app.
geotag where they've been at
Yep.
that
Yeah.
moment.
We can live track them because we have to, by the regulations.
Right.
Yeah.
We have to have
Well,
something
isn't-
on each vehicle
Isn't live tracking checking in all the time?
I agree. But
yeah, right.
you
Because
know,
you're always
here we
following
are.
wherever they are.
here, I mean,
Just explain
Yeah.
my origins for the hate for government.
we don't
It
know
just
why.
kills the
we,
spirit.
We don't know why, but I think you're
I
right.
mean-
Right. The problem with everything that we can say in society is we don't ask why enough. Right.
Right. And
We don't question enough.
I
Yeah.
see Maggie.
Right.
I see Ryan. I see artists. I see musicians. I see people with lives and children that want to spend their time in more valuable ways than trying to understand and maneuver around the concept of check-in
Yeah.
and the definition. You know what I'm
it's-
saying? Let's stop the madness.
It's just they just want to still control us.
You know,
It is what it is. Unfortunately, we have to fit into this like square peg, right?
Right.
And it's weird, right? Because you think cannabis industry, and you look
Right.
around, right, at all these people, right? These people are from the restaurant industry. They are from, we've got people that spend time in prison. We wanna integrate all these people that have something to give back to society, right? And we are all a ragtag bunch of fools, right?
Right.
You have to
Like
be
you.
insane to be in this freaking business, right?
Right.
1 minute it's one thing, somebody sneezes, it's in another thing, right? So you got to be able to be a chameleon, you got to roll. But the bottom line is we're all just trying to be we're surviving, right?
Yeah.
And if we have to survive by checking in every freaking 25 minutes, then
Do what it takes to keep our
you know,
license.
then holy hell,
Right.
then here we
We're
are,
always
right?
watching.
No, you guys are awesome people. You guys are thoughtful people, and obviously you have a great company.
We're a
Definitely.
minority-owned company, actually. So I think
Nice.
it's funny that we're the two white people. Hello, you picked the white people, but we work for a minority-owned business, and they're amazing, right? So
Right.
the executive team, they understand, right? So they get it. We're 100%, we're 110% behind any sort of social equity or equality that we can help and be a part of, right? So I think it's important that we still be here because we all have voices in our company. We're a ragtag bunch. We all come from different walks of life, and we're all here to, like I said, to survive. We want to have a good time doing it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have laws and rules that we have to abide by.
And
We hope one day they would change it if they would listen.
I don't
but-
mean to get too philosophical, but just people are out there. They industry members. They watch this podcast and they're learning about the industry, learning people. We know you guys have a cool organization and a cool company. They want to learn about the market structure. They want to learn about the licensing structure. They want to learn about the players and who to contact in the state. If they want to learn more.
Honestly, like I said, we are. I believe we are the only minority-owned transportation company in Massachusetts. So we're Eagle Eyes Transportation. You can look us up, eagleeyestransportation.com. We list
578-579-9562.
Yes, sir. We
Extension 115. That's
yeah,
my line.
we list all our services there. We have
But
we have an FAQ. Honestly, reach out. Any questions? We are always helping launch new companies, right?
Right.
Like I said, we offer. They don't know what to do
Right.
with
I
transportation.
noticed that you said that you guys work with B2B, right?
Yes.
So
Yep.
how does that work with consumer delivery? Is that
So we don't do consumer based delivery. So we don't do home delivery. So all
Right.
we do is basically we pick it up, we bring it to the retail facility, we bring it to a.
is there a reason why you guys don't want to?
It's
touch
just our
that?
license site.
Yeah.
It's the licensing.
It's really it's a
It's
lot.
the laws.
It's a lot. And
it's the money, right? Everything
That's
costs money.
That's for social equity people only.
Everybody
Social
wants some
equity.
money, right? Everything's a money grab.
But when you
Right?
go to the dispensary,
Doesn't have-
most
yeah.
likely you're picking up product that was in our custody
Yeah,
at one
yeah.
point in time.
We've probably touched 95% of everything that you see at the retail dispensary,
Can I have your database? I'm just kidding.
right?
So no, but you guys touch how many of the manufacturers, how many cultivators, how many dispensaries you guys touch?
I mean, retail
not percentage numbers.
retail wise, we hit 95% of the
We
state.
need. He wants hard
in
numbers.
terms of like our client base,
Well, hardish.
Oh, hardish.
you know,
okay.
our client. I mean, we work with a lot. You can't put a number on it. There's too many
As-
licenses to keep track of.
Yeah.
Here's
so-
the thing with
um,
licenses. We might work with one entity. They have 4 locations,
Agreed.
right?
Yeah, that's a
But-
good point.
So
You know,
like, holy hell.
But they're all independent licenses, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of M numbers to
So,
remember, right?
but
There's a lot of license
What's
numbers.
more important than numbers is just helping out as many people as
Yeah.
we can in the
Right.
industry.
Being in a good industry partner, we
Yeah,
find
we
that's
treat everybody
valuable.
equally. We provide the same service to each individual
Yep.
partner that does work with us and support them to the
I'd
best
like
of our
that you
ability.
help as many people as possible.
Yeah.
We do. It doesn't matter who
yes.
you are. Like I said, the small people, we will send team
Right.
to that facility. Hey, this is how you do your first
best.
manifest. This is how you do your first lab pickup. We're because it makes it easier for us and everybody else in the long run.
So who has the best flower in Massachusetts?
Oh, I think it depends on who you ask, because everybody
asking you
likes
guys.
different terpenes.
Anybody that uses Eagle Eyes Transport.
Oh, there
Oh,
you
yeah,
go.
that's
Look at
the
that. Look at that.
There you go. There you go.
No, I mean I see some fantastic stuff.
We do.
A lot of my clients, do invite me out. I get to see the facility, see the cultivation rooms, kind of see
Yeah.
the process, see what goes behind those doors. The businesses that we help support. Everybody's different. Everybody's got a different product. They're all fantastic in their own right. They each have a customer that's willing to buy it.
Yep. There's a different strain for I think everybody, but
So you guys are like kind of uniquely designed to be like hubs.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's-
hub's not just of like the product, but of information.
Absolutely.
No, hub and spoke is what we use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we are. We're here to connect people with other people, right? So this is part of being a good business and somebody in the industry, especially cannabis. Like you got to help each other out, right?
Right.
There's enough pie for
We're all
everybody
in
to
this
have a
together.
slice.
Yeah.
Nobody should be, competition is healthy, right?
Mhm.
But there should be something where we can all just come together, right?
Yeah,
And
no, I like how you
it's
said
enough.
that. Everybody kind of needs to come together and
Yeah.
go towards the legislator there.
Yeah.
So if I'm a brand from California looking to migrate into Massachusetts or Arizona or any other
Sure.
state, and I want to find out who is the best person to manufacture with, who pays the bills, who does things by the book, do you offer that service for free or do you guys charge?
If people want to work with us, I'll point them in the direction of people that we
We
also
suggest,
support, and that
right.
we see continued success from the brands that they
Yeah.
keep pumping out.
Yes.
I shouldn't say pumping out, but producing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, again, we have many partners that we can refer
I like
them
both
to.
you
We're not
guys.
going to make the deal for you, but we'll make the
It
introduction.
will help you, right? So we want
Yes.
to connect the bridges, right?
We want to support
Yes.
you and make sure that you're set up with the right person that has the right formula, the right processes in
Yeah.
place to create the
It's about
product that you're
karma,
looking
right?
for to bring to
Yeah.
our market.
I'm
always
It's
putting,
about
about who you
karma.
know.
We're not going to sell something that we can build good brand partnerships with, right?
Yes.
Because it's worth more than money. I mean, honestly, our word, our commitment to quality, like that's worth way more.
everyone
right?
should be working with you guys in Massachusetts.
Thanks.
I think you
We're
guys
trying.
You guys have the right vibe. I might call
Thanks.
him first though because he trusts government less than you do.
I'm on
some
her
parts
team.
of government,
I'm
okay?
just saying
I'm
it.
on her team.
Some parts of government.
I'm
Don't
just
even
saying.
don't get me on women's rights. Don't get me on a lot of things, all right? Don't.
A free
I
market
married an
will-
immigrant. All right.
All right,
So
no.
like there's a lot of things that I
am a free market libertarian.
All right,
That's,
so
I am just.
there's some things I agree with, but
I'm just kidding. I just worry about the matrix.
regs, I'd break them all. Like that's why I like rules.
Right.
If there weren't rules, I would have nothing to get yelled at over.
That's a good point too.
Because I like
you
breaking
know?
rules.
We're
Yeah,
rule
what-
I'm a
breakers
rule
over
breaker.
here.
What fun would anarchy
That's what I'm
be?
saying.
Right.
It would be the norm. I don't want to do the norm. I want to
That's
break
true.
through on the norm. I don't want to.
If anarchy was the norm, I'd probably be rising up against it.
That's what
Good
I'm saying,
point.
right?
Yes.
We would want the opposite of
Yes.
anarchy.
But you know what? I've learned historically, it just comes and goes.
It's an ebb and flow.
Yeah.
You got to surrender to the flow.
Right. That's why we have even the concept of limited licensing because people forgot about like the Enlightenment, the Revolution,
Right.
the French, the American Revolution.
Yeah, it's
the
cyclical,
concept-
right?
Yeah.
I have an 8-year-old, and that's what we talk about a lot at my house. He's an old soul, and
Yes.
I'm glad I have him. But I try to
Yes.
teach him this is cyclical, man. You know?
There's nothing more pressing than government having controlling the licenses and restricting it.
So
And that's what kingdoms were in the 17th
Yep.
century. They were licensing structures to the goods and services that were available in that jurisdiction. You with me on that?
yeah, we want to be on the right side of the history, right? And we want to power to the people all the way, right? But we
Right.
just got to do it the way where it's going to be the most beneficial for all the people that we're seeing behind us right now, right?
Do they
We want to
limit,
disrupt it, but we want to disrupt it the right way,
do
right?
they limit the number of licenses for transportation?
I'm not sure in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts is
That's
yeah.
something I don't know, and I wish I did.
No,
but
it's good that you're not even asking a question.
I know that
so,
Connecticut does because
Yeah, there's some other states that
you're not
do
going to say
limit.
much, but
so much of the American cannabis industry I've seen over the last 10 years, they're not concerned about cannabis, but controlling their position in the supply chain more so than anything
Right.
else. That's why companies like Trulieve or Pureleaf, whichever one recently left, they abandon states like Massachusetts and they go to limited licensing states because that's where they can restrict access, for entrepreneurs
Right.
and ultimately for consumers and patients, and they can build their models around that. So that's just a little personal.
Yep.
You guys don't have to comment on that.
Nope.
I don't want to interfere with your business.
we
Nobody,
appreciate that.
nobody can interfere with my business at this point, so I'm good to go. But you guys are fantastic people.
Thank you guys.
appreciate
Thank you for the opportunity. Like I
Yeah.
said, we just want to be good brand partners.
You guys
We
are
have to follow the
go-
rules because they give them for us to follow, but
Yes.
we
Well,
push them.
You know,
There's
Right,
that gray
right.
area, right?
You know the song Maggie by Rod Stewart?
Oh,
We're gonna play it for you a little later.
it's a good one.
It's been in my
It's a good
head
one.
this entire time.
If I only had $1 for every
Well, I
time,
know, but
I wouldn't be here. I'd be relaxed somewhere,
have you
Listen
posted?
to
smoking
it.
a big fatty,
Listen to Maggie.
some
Yeah.
Jamaican, some Jamaican resort,
I-
smoking some lamb spread, Bob Marley's brand.
yeah, well. So
Listen, I
anyways,
like
the
my men
way.
like I like my coffee, dark and sweet. Okay.
Oh, look at that! Look,
Hey.
Eric. Wait, I'm dark and sweet too. I sometimes forget.
But thank you guys, honestly, for giving us the opportunity.
Yeah,
we
Yes.
always
Thank
like
you.
to be talking to folks, especially in communications and media, right? Because it's about helping each other. It's about bringing each other all together. So
Of course.
Yeah, emails,
LinkedIn.
websites, LinkedIn.
EagleEyesTransportation.com.
Sales@eagleeyestransport.com.
Yep.
Uh,
You can get me
Go
on the
through
main
the
website. Yeah.
there's
We
plenty
all
ways to
wear
get in
different
touch with
hats
us.
here. I do operations, compliance, warehouse,
King of all
fulfillment.
trades.
Yeah,
There
what
we
a-
go.
what a-
We just
I can't tell. I do sales.
yep.
No,
yeah.
no.
Yep.
And
Sounded
what a
great.
great situation. If you're going to do business in Massachusetts or probably even the whole Northeast in 5 years' time, I would definitely call either of these two guys first because they have a neutral ancillary
We do.
identity that's going to help you, whether you're a cultivator, manufacturer, processor, brand,
Yes.
whatever it is, retailer. You know, you guys are there to help them and to earn their respect and trust and build their and then they can build their business model.
And,
It's
and
fantastic.
talk to anyone today, whoever you pull over. Make sure you ask what Eagle Eyes, get
Yes,
their
please
input
do.
on us.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you'll hear it secondhand from a
If
bunch
you
of
don't,
the
just
No.
take it out.
people that are here.
All right,
Yeah.
just edit that out.
We don't have a lot of people like you in a lot of states. It's an interesting thing. So thank you guys for joining
I
us.
appreciate it. Thanks for having
Thanks.
On
us.
Meet Unshackled.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, you
Appreciate your
guys.
time.
Thank you.
All right.
That was another episode of Meet Unshackled.